Welcome to the Medicine the Muse Symposium. On behalf of our entire team and committee and presenters, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. And I just want to say on behalf of all the students, thank you so much again for, and all of our presenters, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate the support of the Medicine the Muse Symposium.
Art is a medium through which we can connect with and embrace one another. It provides a welcome space for us to live, breathe, interpret, and take shelter and comfort in our shared stories. It empowers us to build bridges between physicians and patients, artists and observers, from one person to another, from one community to another, from one nation to another.
If there's nothing left, if there's nothing left, I have you. If there's nothing left.
State your name for the record, please. This was how things began. Boston on the cusp of fall, the Sackler Museum robbed of 23 pieces of priceless Chinese art. Even in the museum's back room, dust catching the slant of golden late afternoon light, Will could hear the sirens. They sounded like a promise. Will Chen. And what were you doing at the Sackler Museum, Mr. Chen? I work here part-time. I'm an art history major at Harvard. Did you see anything unusual before the theft? No. Describe what you saw during the incident. Any distinguishing features of the thieves, anything the security cameras might not have caught. It all happened very fast. I looked up from my essay and the alarms were going off. When I ran into the exhibit, they were already leaving. They had on ski masks, black clothes. He hesitated just for a moment. I think they were speaking Chinese.
As born and raised in Hawaii, islands known for sunshine, lays, and hula dancing. My life's been pretty sunny since. I attend my dream medical school. I have a super supportive family, a loving group of friends, and a wonderful relationship. I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. I wasn't the type of person I thought got into abusive relationships. I was too confident, too outgoing to put up with someone who would hurt me. When I meet him, he's a friend of a friend. He's educated, intelligent, and passionate about his work. He's also pretty cute. I didn't see any red flags. One night, we were out late. We were both drunk. When he hits me, I'm not really sure what is happening.
God. I can still smell the grief on Mama's lips as she tried to explain that you were drowning in the fluids of your enlarged heart. The doctor told her Sekuru's body could no longer handle such a dysfunctional engine. I interrupted, nearly yelled that his diagnosis made no sense. That engine had always powered his life, one he so generously shared. I can no longer sit through the anatomy of the heart, listen to them extol sinews of tendons and tendrils of nerves. I cannot contemplate memorizing the structures that failed in you, but continue to work in everyone else.
Sometimes I feel so heavy-hearted, but I can't explain, 'cause I'm so guarded, and it's a lonely road to travel, and it's a heavy.
They say that she suffers dementia, that she endures a scrambled molecular jigsaw. With this, she disagrees. For these unraveled pieces, breaking away from their previous confinement, transport her back to the nights spent around the village fires, to the smells of countless treks down to the stream, to the laughter at half-formed jokes, shared amidst mouthfuls of sour fruit. She lives in these moments now.
Holding my infant daughter and feeling her breath against my skin connected my home life with my adult profession as a physician. As a child, I remember watching the air move a tree leaf and wondering where that air went next and where it was before. As a new attending physician, I would leave the nearness of my daughter's breath and care for children in the heart of Los Angeles. I commonly cared for children dealing with chronic respiratory concerns, and I started telling them the story of their breath.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shama Ike, and thank you, Wangai, for introducing me. I'm a first-year med student along with Wangai, and it's my pleasure to introduce the poet, theologian, storyteller, and host of the podcast Poetry Unbound, Pádraig Ó Tuama.
And this old, beautiful phrase in Irish, sco a chéile a waras na daoine, was the subtitle for the conference. That proverb, that old saying, translates into English in a number of ways, one of which is, it is in the shelter of each other that the people live. But what this beautiful, hundreds of year old phrase invited me to think was that living in a shadow and managing to crawl out from under a shadow and feeling like I was barely surviving and wishing for shelter and feeling like there was a life that I'd like to live, but it always felt a little bit beyond me, that in itself wasn't a bad way to live for now.
While I allow people to continue typing their questions in the Q&A, I would like to sprinkle in my own question that I'm interested in hearing you answer. Is poetry prayer? And can medicine be a kind of prayer?
I do think of etymology all the time, as Shama was mentioning earlier on. I hope you can see the etymology dictionary. It's here so I can get it without even looking. Prayer comes from the French word prier, which means to ask. And I think when there is the possibility of saying, I need something, or I have to say something, or I need to be heard, that always brings us into the intimacy of prayer.
Hold your breath and hold on for dear love. Blue and black all over, but you know we're gold. Hold on, hold on.
And all my life, I've been climbing up to little windows, opening them and saying the one thing I can say, thank you.